Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. We are talking about week 5 DFS for your DraftKings lineup. This is going to help. You're going to go over all the optimal plays at each position, including giving you guys some value plays at each position, even going over the defense to help you guys get that optimal roster for DFS. So for daily fantasy sports, this is going to give you a massive advantage because you know who the optimal plays are, the price of them, and also some of the tougher matchups, okay? So this is really going to help you guys also with starts and sits going into fantasy football week 5. It's going to help you with that as well. I do a starts and sits show as well on Friday, but this is also going to give you guys that extra advantage as well. So going to dive into that. This show is brought to you, before we get into that, is brought to you by manscaped.com. Guys, head on over there, use promo code SHOWERLION. I've got the trimmer right behind me, the Lawnmower 4.0. Amazing product, guys. Check it out. This is a beaut right here. Amazing fit and finish. Now, the thing about this, it's got skin-safe technology. It's got the LED spotlight. It's waterproof. It's ready to go. Trim your balls with confidence and style. Your balls will thank you. I like their underwear, their ball wipes, other amazing products, including this ultra smooth package I got behind me, manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLION. You're going to save yourself 20%. Go do that. Treat yourself. You'll be very, very happy. All right, so go do that. All right, let's start with the optimal plays. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do click that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel out. Also, follow on Insta. We're doing amazing giveaways, phenomenal giveaways. You'll be very happy. This week, we're giving away a signed Odell helmet, which is behind me, a signed Godwin jersey during Thursday Night Football at halftime. So to enter for those guys, pristineauction.com, use promo code SWAGLION. pristineauction.com, promo code SWAGLION. Go create an account, DM in the comments, you're done, and you're in, all right? Again, if you're following story mode on my Instagram, you'll be well in the loop on that stuff. All right, so let's dive into this, guys. So quarterback position, let's start off with that. Optimal play here at the quarterback position. Now, again, understand there is some value here with some of these guys, and there's some studs here that have tougher matchups. So let's start off with some of the tougher matchups just so you're aware. Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, guys like Jalen Hurts, Matt Ryan, who came off a good week, have tougher matchups. So you're going to be paying $8,200 for Pat Mahomes, but he's playing Buffalo. So who do I play for DFS, if I'm going to get a stud? It's probably going to be Josh Allen, who's playing KC. He's $8,100. So you may want to consider him. And they're playing each other, but Pat Mahomes got a tougher matchup, right? So Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, great matchup. He's been red hot, but you're going to pay $8,000. Either one of those guys if you want to secure an ace quarterback this week, but you're paying for it, right? So some value plays, a little bit more value. Matt Stafford's got a good matchup. He's only $6,500. Not as much upside, but again, good price. Dak Prescott, $6,900. Great matchup as well. Daniel Jones, easy matchup versus Dallas. Another guy you may want to consider. So there you have it, guys. Some value plays and some of the studs here at the quarterback position. Moving on to running back. Okay, running back, I like to anchor my team with an ace running back, but I'm not paying $9,000 for Derrick Henry. That's what he's worth on DraftKings. He's a beast, and he's got a great matchup. That's why he's $9,000, okay? Alvin Kamara, he is also $8,600, very expensive, but he's got a good matchup. Kamara, Henry, expensive, great matchups. Dalvin Cook, great matchup, very expensive, playing Detroit. He should run all over them, but you're dealing with the injuries. I may not start Dalvin Cook because of what's going on with the injuries, but very, very favorable matchup, okay? It's not something you should be aware of, okay? Let me just go over here. Let me take a look at some other value plays. Well, $8,700, you're paying for it if he comes back, which I don't think he is. Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be out, but I will tell you, Chuba Hubbard is a value play. So I'm just looking at here at the Panthers matchup. Chuba Hubbard, you may want to consider starting him because, again, he is a good matchup, and he's only $6,000. He had a decent week last week, 9 points, but CMC should be out still. If so, Chuba, good matchup and value play. DeAndre Swift as well, good value, okay? So in regards to him, good value, $6,100, good matchup, all right? So some guys that have it in tough, you got to be aware. Studs that are good, Austin Eckler, $7,600, got it in tough. Najee Harris, got it in tough, $6,900, okay? So just be aware of that. Saquon Barkley, $7,300, fifth hardest matchup versus position, got it in tough. So those guys right there, and I got Saquon, Najee, I got to start him in year long. but they've got it in tough if you are looking at DFS, okay? Let me give you a couple more value plays you may want to consider here. And again, it's about the value sometimes and on the matchup. So you're getting a good matchup for a good price. And again, one of them, like I said, is Chuba Hubbard. Another guy you may want to consider here, now it's up to you guys, and again, this isn't the easiest matchup, but Darrell Henderson, okay? I don't know, check to see if he's playing. If he's playing, I think he should be good to go. He does have an easy matchup, and he's $5,900. So that's another value play for you. And another good one, Cordell Patterson playing the Jets. A good matchup coming off a red-hot week. He's not going to duplicate three receiving touchdowns. I really doubt it. But he's playing the Jets. Another good value play, only $5,900. So if you want that, I'd be plugging them into DFS. Wide receiver, this is where I take my risks in DraftKings and daily fantasy. This is where I go for those upside players. Now, you're going to see on the board there Tyreek Hill at $8,900, right? But he's got a super tough matchup. He's playing Buffalo, okay? Coming off a huge pinnacle week. Decline's coming, tough matchup, and he's $8,900. See, that's a wide receiver I would not plug in because a lot of people will plug that in. They'll play him because he had a big week last week. I personally won't. He could have another big week, yeah, but it's the toughest matchup for his position, and he's expensive, so I'm going to dodge him. Another guy, Calvin Ridley, tougher matchup versus position against the corners of the Jets, but, expensive as well. $6,800 for a tough matchup. I don't know if I'm going to pay that, right? So I start looking for wide receiver. I look for value if I can, and a guy like Marvin Jones, $5,700. Easy peasy matchup versus Tennessee. Jalen Waddle, value, $4,800, okay? But you still want to get yourself an ace wide receiver, which I'll get into that in a second. Hunter Renfrow, we're talking value here. Hunter Renfrow, $4,900. He is as safe as they come. He's a consistent target. He's been consistent the past 3 weeks. I like him as one of my wide receivers for value. I'm only paying, again, $4,900 on DraftKings. If you want to go ace wide receiver, I think Stephon Diggs is a good one. He's $7,500, and he's got a favorable matchup. I like Stephon Diggs versus KC this week. Solid. Deebo Samuel, if you want a stud, $7,100, and he's got a good matchup. They're playing Arizona. He had a big week last week. I expect that to continue, okay? So there's a couple of value plays that are studs. Cooper Kupp, $7,900. He's been consistent as they come. If you are thinking of getting a stud wide receiver, he is one to get. $7,900 on DraftKings and a favorable matchup. So you got to look at it. Great talent, favorable matchup. It's a good combination. You don't want to overpay like Tyreek Hill, who's got a tough matchup, right? And then you've got some guys that are, again, got it in tough, and you really got to be careful with the guys that got it in tough. Anybody from the Cowboys, be careful. They are playing the Giants. And again, CeeDee Lamb busting last week, a guy that everybody drafted a year long in the second round, crap in the bed, okay? So they've got it in tough versus the Giants. Devontae Smith, I like him for DFS. I still think he's going to get a volume. He's a value at $5,900. I like Devontae Smith. I think him and Hurts are going to be connecting this week, but slightly tougher matchup versus Carolina. But I think the volume is going to be there. I think that big playability is going to be there. So $1,500 doesn't really scare me. Michael Pittman, also value, $5,200. I like him. I'll probably start him in DFS. Due for a big game, but relatively tough matchup here versus Baltimore. But based on volume and upside, I think it's going to be good. Mike Williams, coming off a mediocre week to say the least. He is due for a big game, but he does have it in tough versus Cleveland. $7,200, not the cheapest. Now, oddly enough, Keenan Allen's actually cheaper than Mike Williams. And again, I think it's because of the fact that Williams had a down week last week, and this is where you got to get into that strategy aspect. Keenan Allen had a safe week. Williams not so good. So they're projecting that Williams is due for that big game, and they're going to charge you for it. $7,200 in the salary cap on DraftKings. But Mike Williams, again, tough matchup, but could be due for that big week because, you're betting on Herbert having a good game, and Herbert is an absolute stud, all right? One more value play for you, but tougher matchup. Darnell Mooney, $4,700, coming off a big game last week. That should continue. I think the rapport is there. As Allen Robinson seeing the top corner, Darnell Mooney's opportunity is opening up. Again, super cheap at $4,700, okay? So there's some wide receivers, some value. Go back and listen to it again, make some notes. But this should really, really help you guys with your DraftKings lineups, okay? Moving on to the tight end position. And we've seen it with tight ends every single week. There's a lot of volatility and a lot of uncertainty. So you don't necessarily have to start a George Kittle and Travis Kelce. And I avoided them in year long. I told you guys if you got 16 rounds, avoid them in year long. And Kittle's got it in tough this week, and he's $5,600. I would rather take a Dalton Schultz, who's got an easy matchup. So again, here's a value play for you. Dalton Schultz, $4,400 and an easy matchup this week. So that's really good. He's playing the Giants. Dawson Knox, $4,300. Value play. He had a big week last week. He's playing KC, easy matchup. So Dawson Knox, Dalton Schultz, better value, easy matchup. Coming off big weeks, there's a chance they could decline. Yes, but I mean, I like the value if you want a tight end with upside, right? Boom or bust type potential. Jared Cook, mid-range matchup. Don't know if I trust him. But again, good quarterback, right? Another guy, let me just take a look here in regards to a value play. Hunter Henry was safe last week. He's got an easy matchup. Geno Smith, very easy matchup. Both these guys, super great value. Hunter Henry, Geno Smith. Mo Alley Cox, super easy matchup versus tight ends. Baltimore plays tight ends very, very easy, very, very light. Only $2,900 coming off a huge game last week with 19 points. Got a couple touchdowns, I believe. So is that going to continue? Maybe, but are you willing to, it's a deal, $2,900. If you need to fit that salary cap and get a tight end in there, Mo Alley Cox could be that value play as well. Again, we're seeing guys, come out of the woodwork. Another value play who had a big week last week, huge week, CJ Uzomah, right? $3,000. So this is what I mean. When you come in tight end, you could get that value. Mike Gesicki, a little more expensive, $4,200. Very easy matchup. So Uzomah, Mo Alley Cox, Gesicki, Schultz, all these guys have really, really good matchups and are good value. So I think this is the week. If you want to get a tight end, it's got upside. You can do that without paying that Travis Kelce, George Kittle price, and they've got tougher matchups. So Travis Kelce's got the 5th hardest matchup versus position, and you're paying $7,600. So, and you got George Kittle, who's got the 3rd hardest matchup versus position theoretically, and $5,600. So this is the week to go value tight ends. I would recommend that, okay? Now, looking at defense, there's only a handful of defenses that I like to start every week, and they're the ones that have the best matchup. So Falcons versus the Jets, great matchup. Maybe even Jets versus Falcons, that could be a great matchup as well, but it looks like Matt Ryan's he's a rhythm quarterback. Maybe he's in the groove. He could be firing and putting up a lot of points. Who cares if they win or not, but I think Matt Ryan's in kind of a bit of a groove here. Jacksonville versus Tennessee, not a bad matchup. Texans versus New England, good matchup. And Titans versus Jacksonville, a good matchup. Another one that I like here, you can go rewind and play this to listen again, but Buccaneers versus Miami, another good matchup. You may also want to consider the Raiders versus Chicago at $2,900. Also good matchup because you got the rookie quarterback and some uncertainty surrounding that offense, and David Montgomery's banged up. So that could be a good matchup with the Raiders versus Chicago. Coming off a loss, could be an angry team going into that game, all right? So there you have it, guys. Optimal DFS plays is really going to help you. Again, tune in starts and sits on Friday. Also going to help you as I dive into guys that have the tougher matchups and more into tougher matchups versus positions. Going to help you with DFS as well. And this is going to help you with fantasy football starts and sits week 5 as well. So they kind of go hand in hand, but I do my DFS here today. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And again, guys, link here below. Follow on social media for all the giveaways, amazing stuff, and my antics on Instagram as well. Subscribe, guys. I'm out. Thank you for being here. We'll talk soon.